It's Tuna Tech. I'm absolutely working on nothing. Taking a little bit of a break, just doing some live streams. I was talking earlier behind backstage about the Oppo X6 Pro. I'm this close to purchasing that so I can have some more content for you guys. But that's all I got for now.
I'm nobody. No, I'm just kidding.
Hello, nobody.
Well, I saw John Wick 4, so I'm nobody.
Yeah.
So anyway, pretty good movie. So what we're working on is on the our podcast is we're going to have I think Pitar is going to come on at some point. He's going to talk about why he recently decided to vacate the YouTube space. We're going to have a good chat with him. Also, we're trying to get a couple other guests lined up for we're not streaming this Sunday because it's Easter, and I've been told by my better half that I better take a break this weekend because she's tired and she wants to need to take a break. So that's what we're working on the Nomad Tech project. So Sundays, 3 p.m. Just tune in if you want to live stream, or don't. You don't have to do anything. You could just continue to live your life, and you don't have to listen to our podcast if you would. But it'd be nice if you would, and throw us a subscribe and tell us if anything, just to tell us we're terrible. That would be okay too. We'll take that.
Oh yeah, criticism is criticism, right? Good or bad, you got to take it, right?
We'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel you. And it's crazy. I can't wait to hear what he's going to talk about, even though I kind of already had a conversation with him and stuff, because I told him that I was thinking about going down that same road of quitting the channel, and because it just feels like it's just at a dead end right now. And, a lot of people gave me advice, and I've listened to everyone's advice. People in the comments don't give me advice. They pretty much just tell me how great my channel is and I'm underrated. But then other people that have successful channels are giving me advice, and I'm trying it, and it's still not working. So.
And that's kind of why I took a break. It's just like kind of an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
When you got life, and then you're trying to do other stuff, and it can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying hard, like really hard, and it doesn't seem like you're getting the fruits of your labors. That's the impression I got from the stuff I read from you, at least. I didn't know about him getting out of the YouTube game. I had not heard that, so that's interesting.
Yeah. It's like that, and a lot of people say you should care about what when you put in a lot, you should want a lot back. And at the time when I was doing it, I don't care, and I still kind of don't care per se. I love doing videos, and I love making it and stuff. But what I mean when I said I'm going to get out the tech space, I don't mean I'm going to stop making videos, because I still love that portion of it. But as far as me in the tech part, I think that's where I might step away from, because it just don't seem to be working. It's hard to get into it. You have so many. And then if you're not making the type of videos that everyone else is making, pretty much, it's like you don't exist. It's
clickbait videos. Like, I can't do that.
Yes, agree.
That's a good watch. So.
And I think that's where I fall short, because I'm not making those type of videos, and I really don't want to. Anytime you can make a video right now and probably blow up if you say iPhone user switches to the Galaxy S23U, and boom, instantly everyone's searching for that and trying to watch it and see the reasons why. It is that easy. So when you're my man Valis, I want to bring him up because his channel was one of those channels that kind of blew up. He was a dedicated iPhone user for a long time, and he decided to switch over, and his audience grew so rapidly because they just wanted to know why he switched from the iPhone and left to the Galaxy. I think at the time it was the Galaxy S21U or 22U. It was one of them, one of those phones that he started on that just blew his channel up, and it's been rapidly growing ever since then.
Has he generally stayed with Android?
Yeah, he's bounced back and forth,
right?
And then he also. Now he's using both, but he went ahead and dedicated himself to the S23U and bought a iPhone mini so he can keep his Ultra watch, because he said that the watch is best for his health and everything like that, which is completely understandable. So he wants to stay kind of like in there, but he just got a cheaper phone to use the watch with, and then still use his Galaxy S21U. So pretty much that's what he's doing now, as far as what I see from his tweets and everything like that. But yeah,
I mean, I enjoy tech, so I'm going to keep making videos. It might be slow here. I can't be consistent just with my schedule and my work. It's hard. I love tech, but you're right. I think if I made a video of me eating a bowl of cereal every day, and different bowl of cereal, and ranked my cereal taste, I guarantee I'd have millions of views. It's just the tech space is so crowded, and I don't know how popular it from time, it fluctuates a lot. So yeah, I agree. It's hard in the tech space. It really is. And if you're very talented with video, so you can make anything, and maybe you can still enjoy tech, but switch gears and make videos of something else. I don't know, make an extra channel, second channel. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and leaving the tech space because of that. Because, like I say, I get advice from a lot of people saying, make your content, do your content, your audience will find you. But it seems like I got to make the content everybody else making. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm pushed to do that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Sam?
Well, that's why I don't do that. That's why I don't do. I just don't. Right? Yeah. And I do podcasts, and honestly, I don't care if I've got the 20 or 30 or 40 people who listen and attend a live stream, but other than that, I don't really care that much about it. It's really. And I said this before, and I'm not, and this isn't, and I try to preface this comment by saying this is not an indication or a narrative or commentary on anybody's channel or trying to get into the game, but the days of growing a YouTube channel to 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers, those days are gone. And especially in the tech space, I just think that those things are gone unless you're willing to make the content that's gonna drive traffic, that the of the phones that people want. Nobody's gonna be watching content about a Surface Duo necessarily, or Umidigi or whatever. Right? They're gonna be watching Apple, iOS, Samsung. I mean, they're gonna want to do the phones that move the clicks, right? That's what people want to do. So again, it's like and when people say, "Well, I can't do that," it's like, yeah, you can, but you choose not to. But again, in this time, at this point in the tech space, in order to kind of get to that level, you're going to have to, I guess, what people would describe as selling out, which I don't think it is. But you have to make that kind of content. That's what if you're looking for sub count, that's what you're going to do. If you're looking to just have a channel to make videos because you enjoy it, because you do it for love of the game, then just do what you want. Then don't even care about the metrics about it.
Right,
who cares?
Right. Because I don't know what the metric, what you got. I remember one of the first videos I ever made was I literally unboxed a Poco X2 or something, one of the first Poco phones. I was outside in the park with a cell phone and a knife. I literally just opened. I didn't say a word. You heard birds chirping in the background. I got 15,000 views, and I'm like,
oh wow!
And then the next one I did at a table with lighting, and it got 5 views. I'm like, what did I do? So to me, it's not like I don't care anymore about subscribers. People who want to watch are going to watch, and if my videos are crap, they're crap. I mean, it to me, it's a race. I'm not going to join the race. I'm just going to do what I can and enjoy it. That's why I do it. So just to share.
I mean, and that's what it's going to be. I mean, and you see the channels, and it's not because they lack talent. It's there's a lot of channels that I would think that have. Should have more sub counts or more subscribers and more engagement because I think the person's talented or I think it does good content. And there's other people who I think the content is mind-numbingly stupid. And it's like I don't understand the whole Twitch video game thing. I don't understand that. And maybe because I'm an old fuddy-duddy, maybe because I'm 50 years old and I remember the days but you were made fun of if nobody wanted to come over and watch you play Kung Fu on your Nintendo while they all sit there and watch
it. Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. Or even if you had a PlayStation, if you wanted to play a game, nobody wanted to sit there while two people play. You didn't have 5 people in your room while two people were playing a 2-player game, like a fighting game or something. Of the 3 people just watching, they were like, nobody wanted to do that. But we have a whole generation of children that are young people, young kids, teenagers,
and want to watch somebody play.
They literally sit there and watch.
My kids do it.
Watch somebody play Call of Duty.
It's not just Call of Duty. My kids watch people playing Roblox on their tablet.
Roblox or whatever. And my thing is this: if you're doing it because you're trying to get better at the game because you're stuck on a certain level, or you just want to get better at how to play, then there's tutorials on how to do it. I mean, I bought Elden Ring. That's the hardest fucking game I've ever played. It's ridiculous, man. I was like, I don't even enjoy this game. That's how much of a pain in the ass it feels like. And so I had to break down how to get started, what character to pick. And, the game gives you very little walkthrough, right? But back to the point of, it's just, I don't understand the current social media space as far as who's people, I mean, millions. People are making millions of dollars playing video games and having people watch. And I'm like, and I've listened to him, like not Mr. Beast, the Dr. Disrespect or whatever. He's kind of funny. I mean, it's, but there's people that are kind of funny, but I mean, some of these people I've watched their streams. and they're talking and they're, doing whatever, and, but they have like 10,000 people watching this. Like, you own the fucking game. You could play it yourself. And and I think be not as good as this person, right, but you can still play. It's like, I can get it if you didn't have access to
they don't even have to be good at the game, because my wife, she watches Dashie, and he doesn't even play the same game half of the time. He just picks the most randomest indie games ever and play them and shout and scream, and people watch it, and she loves it. And the fact that she can go to sleep on that.
Right, and to me, that I would make the argument that's no longer really about the video game; it's really more about the person.
About the person,
it is.
Right,
yeah.
And so, and here's the thing: try to do that. Once you get once you get a Twitch channel or YouTube, whatever, and then try that and see if that's something you could do.
I play video games, but I'm by myself and I'm not talking. Having a camera on me while I'm playing and having to talk and have, it's hard because no one's talking back. And if I really suck at the game, I'm like, sorry guys, I really suck at this game. I think it'd be hard.
I just not fun. I guess what it is I think we're just to that point right now, unless there's some transformative content or something that really moves the needle. The days of the Lou Laters and the Mr. Beast and the M. Marquez and the Mr. Who's the Boss and all, those days are gone. You're not going to get 5
minutes. They got in early.
Even if you do all the clickbaity content and get in, you're not getting there. It's just not happening.
Oh no! Oh yeah. You're not throwing their numbers at all whatsoever. But you can make a good foot into the door. You can get your foot into the door, but you're not going to be as big as them at all whatsoever.
Wait, hold on. MKBHD is scared of my channel. I'll tell you right now. I'm just kidding.
You're like, who is you?
Who is
you? And really about success a lot of times isn't just about quality or about talent. It's about timing. Mm-hmm. So, I just think that's where we are. And I mean, it's, again, that's why I plus you have to, that especially if you're monetized and you're trying to leverage that, to make a living or whatever, then it becomes a job. And then all those things, I don't care what you do. Everybody's like, well, if you truly love something, it's never work. That's bullshit. Yeah. It's now become work because now you're trying to support your family and make a living off of this. Now it becomes, you like days you want to take off or whatever. If people are subscribed to your channel, they expect that content. You have to. You now have customers that you have to deliver for, and I want to
totally agree with that because at some point when I first started this YouTube thing, I literally didn't care about the subs. I really didn't care about the views. I just enjoyed making and sharing to the ones that did care to watch.
Right.
And after talking with a bunch of my friends who are on YouTube, some of them who actually have like semi-successful channels, they made me care more about it when I didn't even care. And I was trying to stay in that mentality of not caring because this, I do YouTube for fun. YouTube is not my business. I'm a photographer. I have my own business and I also work as well. And, I have different revenues to make money. Now, if I can make money from YouTube, fine and dandy, right? If it end up excelling like my job, or, my photography, then that's even better. Then I have a third income, but the point is that this was never meant to be serious. It was just meant to be, I like making videos. One day I hope to write a movie, produce a movie, do this, do that, do that. Let me do, production work and keep in practice by making videos and posting them on YouTube and start off there. What should I talk about? Because there's a lot of things I'm into. Because like y'all say, gaming, I could have chose gaming. I could have chose my photography. I could have chose my tech. I could have chose cooking because I do stuff like that. I could have chose drawing. I had so many different things I could have chose to do my channel around. And I decided, like, you know what? I really love talking tech. I really do. That's like, I love finding people that I can like talk about tech with all the time. So I went to Twitter, found tech people up there. I went to Google Plus, found tech people up there. And now here I am talking to you guys right here. I would have never met you if I would have never went this direction. Cause I'm pretty sure if I went cameras, probably wouldn't know you guys. But the point is that, I was trying not to get to a point of caring, but they started trying to make me care because it's like, why would you put in so much work and you're not getting anything out of it? But I was getting something out of it. The joy of somebody just watching it. That's all that matters. I love when, if I draw art and 20 people come to me like, good job. I'm pretty happy. My standards might not be as big as yours, but I was happy, so.
Right.
I don't know. That's why I came to the point of like, maybe I just need to give this up because now they don't put that crap in my head and it's messing me up because I'm looking at numbers now. I'm looking at views now. And I'm trying to get back to a point where I don't care, but they just kind of mess me up with this because.
And that's why I said, just do what you want to do. Don't worry about the views. I mean, you got to care. I mean, like Sam said, once you get to a certain point, you're going to have customers. You got to appease them, or so because that's what brings in the money. You got sponsors and all that stuff. But right now, if I mean, I don't know how big. I'm probably tiny compared to most people. I don't care. I mean, I enjoy it. People want to watch. That makes me feel good. If I have 8 people that watch a video, hey, 8's better than 0. I'm not looking at 3 million views. If it happens, it happens. And like Sam said, it's all about timing. Like I can make a video of an unboxing in the park and get 15,000 views, and do the same thing a week later and get 1. It's just about who, what, where, when, and how. And that's, to me, it's just getting out, just taking the time. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm busy. Like you said, we have jobs, we have family lives. We come back and I just want to do it. And it seems like you don't want to rush through it, but sometimes you have to.
And I don't disagree with Tuna. But I think it's because of the way that the platform is set up, because it has a subscriber count. I think it is extremely difficult, if not, I would argue probably impossible, to completely 100% not care about a sub count or views or engagement. Like, I'm not saying you should or whatever. But,
for sure.
But I mean, the fact that he even knows how many videos watches that video got 15. At 15,000. If you really didn't care, you really wouldn't know that metric. So
I think it was,
you have to. It's a feedback. It's like it's just you have to.
Well, it was one of my first videos. I think that's why it sticks out to me. But I get what you're saying. How would I know that?
It's just impossible to, because of the way it is. You're doing it. You're putting it on a platform. Because if you really were doing it just for yourself, you go stand in your backyard and do a video.
A
local camera and just stand out there and do it, right? Because
it's not about getting like the mass of views. It's just about people just viewing it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's not about caring about how many people are viewing it so your channel can grow. It's just literally about people just viewing it. Yeah. If I make a piece of art and I sometimes I want to share it to somebody, right? Because I mean, think about us. All day long, we will go out with our family, our wives, our children, whatever. We take pictures, and 90% of the time, we might post a few pictures on the internet to share it on our social media. We just want to share it and just let people see it. You don't really care about the mass number of people that watch it or see it, but you will look at the number of like, okay, somebody's seen it. That's it. And that satisfaction may be enough for some people. And then some people know. Some people are trying to make YouTube into a business and grow it and want the views. But some people just like sharing stuff. I think about a lot of the people who just started just with that mindset of just sharing, and then it grew to something else. It's the possibilities are endless, and maybe Marquez, prime example, how he just loved reviewing tech, and he started with his channel so small, never seen himself growing as big as he is now, but it became something totally different. And therefore now he has no choice but to look at the numbers and everything else and blah, 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 because now it's money.
He can walk away.
Yeah, I mean, we know at this point he can probably retire and walk away.
Most of the people who are at that kind of level could literally walk away, and they have enough money and everything. They could just walk away.
Man, he could start a food eating channel and still put up some numbers.
Oh yeah, well, because at this point, it's because the name.
Yeah,
right?
He's got to follow.
It's a brand.
Well,
it's a brand, and it's a name,
and
that's what it is. And that's what it is. And so, again, and that's why I always tell people, especially, and I really appreciate that you kind of use the art analogy, because I think that's what it is, right? It's creating, right? Creating anything, right? I will always tell people, this is what my uncle told me one time. He goes, how many pieces of art do you think are created across the world in a year? Like in a museum, let's say, think of all the artists you could possibly think of. Think of like, can you name 20? And I said, I don't know, maybe. He's like, right. Do you know how many people have been creating art for the last 15 years? Probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And you know of 20. Yeah. What I'm saying is, when you're creating, there's all sorts of people who may be super talented or maybe not talented. And that's why they have starving artist shows, right? Yeah. But not everybody can be Van Gogh, right?
That's true.
Not everybody can be Beethoven. Not everybody can be Mozart. I mean, you have to be, in order to get to that level, there can only be so many transcendent, transformative, dynamic creators or artists.
It's like
it just
YouTube.
Can't be.
How
Not
many
everybody's
videos
going to get 10,000 subs because
Yes.
if they did, then that becomes, it's what happens is, it becomes talent, right? And now that's what it comes down to. If you're really looking at it from an artistic or creative perspective, I think that's how I look at it. Again, other people tell me I'm completely out of my head. That's fine. I don't really care. And again, this is never to say that anybody should not follow whatever passion. If you want to make candles or be in woodworking or do whatever. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I mean, when I retire, I'd like to start learning how to do woodworking and like how to make a table and how all these cool things, different kinds of saws, and you can make little joints and notches. And I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. That'd be something I'm really into. Now, maybe if I get good enough at it and I like it enough, maybe I'll start recording videos of it and put those on YouTube. And maybe I'll have a following of a bunch of people who are into woodworking and want to see that. If not, I'll just make woodworking things and chest of drawers every once in a while and enjoy retirement, I guess. I don't know. It's just a lot of it. It's so unknown. And so I tell people, but I will tell you that if you're not feeling it and if you're already on the fence, I tell people it's unless something really changes drastically or dynamically, you're probably just going to be like, it's too much for you to manage, and life's stressful enough with everything going on. It's hard to make that all work successfully.
Right. Yeah. I feel like as long as you try, it's fine. Everyone's not going to be successful with everything. And it's just what it is, like you said, there's millions of artists out here. There's millions of ball players, basketball players, football players, got great talent, but some of them would never, ever see the light,
Right.
And that's just the reality of it. So it's all good. But I know some people, they just want to put their foot in the door and just be part of that, whatever it is, but you'll just never be the Knicks, Michael Bay movie director or the Knicks Leonardo or like Beethoven and all the stuff like that, or Michael Jackson for that matter. Right. So
but put yourself out there, like Sam, doing a podcast.
But, I can't wait to see what Pitar says tomorrow.
But we're not gonna have him on. Are you gonna talk to him tomorrow? Like I said, we haven't. I think we're gonna have him on maybe end of the month. I'm just curious, but I noticed that we asked him to come on and actually. We asked him if he would feel comfortable talking about it, and he said he would. So, and that's part of the reason why I like doing my channel, because I like to talk about things that aren't just me, talking about the videos you make, because I can watch the videos you make and see what you think. I mean, I'd like to know, I like to get more into depth than that, not personal, but try to talk more about what's behind the creator, not necessarily the content, because anybody can watch that and get a good idea how they feel about something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the thing is about the tech space, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about it, is that, like you said earlier, normally when you're in this tech space and you're trying to grow your channel, you almost literally have to keep up with everything. And your pockets might not be that deep to do that. If a new phone come out, you need to get it because you need to put a video out to get the views. Another phone come out, you need to pit that against that phone and against that phone and against that phone. This is what the typical tech YouTubers are doing exactly when these phones come out. They pin phones against each other, camera comparisons, video comparisons. Should you switch? Should you buy this? Or I switch from iPhone to this phone, or I'm switching from Android to this phone. And these are all the same pretty much titles that you see all day long. And I literally don't make these titles, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have one in the work right now. And it's only because I want to see how the views are going to be if I title it.
A thought experiment. Okay.
It is. It really is an experiment, because with my videos, I'm just straight up forward with my titles and what I'm going to say in my videos. A lot of people love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the masses, right? Because that's not what the masses is looking for. Those little bit of niche people, they're looking for that. Even the ones who love my wife videos when she reviews a product, they love hearing that. But is that the masses? No. Again, it's not going to gain the views. It's not going to gain the subs. But yes, I am experimenting with a semi kind of clickbait title to see what happens, and video to see if it's going to actually change. And this is just my attempt again at trying to see, because this is going to be my last year doing tech if nothing changes on my channel, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And it's because I care now. I didn't want to care, but I care now. I hate that I care. So I'm going to revise, start all over, and start a channel that I feel more comfortable doing and just go from there. So, or even might do podcasts like you guys, actually, because I like this better. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I can, and the beauty is, and everybody gets mad at me because sometimes we'll talk about a topic. I'm like, I don't know anything about what you're talking about, and then they'll say, oh really? Well, you're not much of a tech enthusiast. What? No, but I have a fucking life. I got to do other shit. I'm also, I have to work full time, and I have other things to do, and and some things just don't interest me. So I just don't feel like I really want to be that, you know, and also I'm not going to sit here and snowball it, right? If I don't know the subject or I haven't studied up on it, or I don't have a lot of context, I'm not going to comment on it. Just
and that's
I'm not going to, just like, I got nothing. If you want to talk about it, y'all can just go
talk about it.
It's fine.
And that's the thing about me. I'm not interested in like everything that everyone is interested in. I'm interested in everything that I purchase, and that's what I talk about.
Yeah. So that's again, I always tell people, you know, do what you want to do, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I decided we're just going to stick to the podcast, and I don't try to do like anything super extra. I don't try to, but it's funny because whenever anybody asks, and I say, I just tell them I got a podcast, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I said, no, I fucking swear to God, you can look it up right now. Watch this, and I show people, and they're like, oh, really? That's cool. I go, not really. You can do this. I mean, you can do it. I mean, it's just, you know, it takes, you know, a little bit. You need a podcast thing, and you can just, you know, record it on your hand phone.
It's taking that first step, putting yourself out there. That's the biggest step. And once you do it, it's kind of like pulling the Band-Aid off, you know, at least for me it was.
And I let people come on and I take feedback. I've had people tell me they think I'm terrible, and I've had people think I'm a really good interviewer. I think they're both full of shit. I don't think I'm terrible, and I don't think I'm a really good interviewer. I think I'm kind of in the middle. Some days I have pretty good shows. Some days I look at it and I go, this is terrible. Right. But again, it's all good. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to stress out about it. And so I just kind of keep it in that box. And if the channel grows, that's cool. And if it doesn't, and I don't get a lot of subs on my podcast and maybe 80 listens a month.
Look, man, this is how I look at it, man. Somebody enjoys it, right? That's what matters, man. That's what somebody enjoys.
I hope so. That's what they say, at least. So I don't think they're just placating my ego. I really think they actually
every time you do your podcast, there's somebody in there listening to you. So that's what matters, you know.
And all the guests come on and they always give me feedback that they really enjoyed the show. They thought it was a good conversation. They like to come on and they're honest. I mean, I've had guests like, you know, Issa does tech, and I've had Jason Lewis, and I actually had Super Saf and John Rettinger on our old show.
Yeah, see?
I was like, this is insanity, right? I mean, it's like, and they were very nice. And then it was like, I can't believe that they came on this show has like 12 fucking followers, right? Or whatever. And they're like, I'm here talking to Super Saf. He was very gracious. And he's like, yeah, I really had a good time. I really enjoyed this. And I don't think he was just saying it. I really, truly believe he was being sincere. He's like, I had a good time. So that's all. And honestly, if it's just a vehicle for me to talk to some of my favorite people, whether it be content creators or whatever, and they like to come on, we have a good chat and they find it to be cathartic. Like Josh Vergara thought it was hilarious because he could say the F word. He thought it was hilarious. He said, I can just say fuck. I go, yeah, nobody's listening to this. That's the beauty of having a podcast that nobody listens to. You can pretty much say whatever you want and nobody cares, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, there is a little bit of a back end of that, right? There's a double-edged sword with having somebody like John Rettinger on. Realize that he's not going to come on there and let it rip because he does have a brand and an image he has to protect.
Right.
He's not going to come on my show and say something off the wall and kind of whacked out because then all of a sudden, well, for me, it would be pretty awesome because they'd be like, hey, he was on this podcast. And everybody's going to want to listen to it. I'll say, I got 7,000 subscribers. Like, But what I'm saying, though, is but those are the kind of conversations. Everybody's like, would you like to have MKBHD on your show? And I part of me says yes. The other says no. Because what is he going to really want to talk to me about? And is he really going to be the kind of person where I want to have real human beings on my show talking about real human being stuff? Like, is Marquez going to want to talk about his favorite pizza joint? Maybe, maybe not. Is he really, I don't, who knows? But I can tell you one thing, he's not going to say anything that's going to make his brand look shitty and so that means he's coming to the conversation preloaded and already guarded. I don't want that. I want people to come in and just, hey, this is your hour. Let it fly. If you say something's bullshit, let it happen. If you see a trend that you're not feeling, or if you have a beef, or if you just generally want to complain about something, or you just want to talk about stuff, right? Whatever you want to talk about. This is I don't call it safe space because I just find that term to be off-putting.
Safe space is when you're off the space.
Right. This is just basically it's basically that's why we have no format, just free range, whatever you want. You know, it's whatever you want to talk about. And I'm not, I don't feel like an interviewer because I'm like, hi, call, first time listener, long time listener, first time caller. This is Larry from.
I don't know, man. You might want to throw that voice on when you do it.
Yeah, I like that. Radio talk.
Stop playing around.
Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Look, let's
Big hour 5 o'clock.
There you go. There you go.
The Nomad Tech Project. Ding dong ding.
All right, so let's get to this quick subject real quick about this S23U. I guess this is where Sam going to step out because he still carries that Windows phone that he needed to throw out the window.
Windows.
We need you to upgrade. Maybe one day for your birthday, I'll send you a updated phone or something. Man.
Yeah, I hear those Umi Digis are pretty popular there.
Yeah,
still showing March.
Well, still showing March.
Yeah,
mine too, man. But anyways, 2N, he does have the Galaxy S23 Ultra as well, and we're both sitting here waiting on that update for April, which is pretty much the only thing I care about. That update is the camera. He said he didn't know much about it, so I got it pulled up right here. We're gonna talk about some of the things about this camera and just move on from there. So, first, how do you like the camera right now? Let me ask you that since you do have it.
I like it. I still think it's plagued by the typical Samsung issues, like people saying that the shutter lag is not real. I don't care about the camera. What's that good lock camera assistant? It's still, to me, fast moving subjects, unless it's really good lighting. It's still kind of, with me, the Pixel 7 Pro, when I'm out and someone's on a swing, like kids swinging, if I take a picture, I know it's not going to be blurry and it's going to be, like a frozen piece in time. With the Samsung, I'm 80% sure that'll happen.
Gotcha.
But besides that, dynamic range, all that stuff's pretty good. I love the zoom. I mean, the 10x optical zoom does help. I know you can talk about all this fake stuff, but it's AI is AI. I think it comes down to personal preference. I mean, I prefer the Pixel, but that does have Pixels do have their look. Samsung's the same way. So is iPhone. So it really comes down to the person. But to me, Samsung, it's a great camera system. And we talked about this before. The S23 Ultra is a huge phone, but it's all around a very, very, very well-rounded phone. And the average user is going to grab that phone and they're not going to have many complaints, if any.
Yeah, I agree. I think with this camera, there's two things for me, though. There is the skin tones that is still pretty bad that I kind of like. Out of the honeymoon phase when I first got it, I looked past it because the portrait mode was so good. I was like, oh man,
I saw those posts.
Nice. You saw those pictures, bro?
They were good.
I got so many more that I want to share, but I'm just waiting how I want to do it to share it with everyone. And also today, I actually took the iPhone 14 Pro, I took the Pixel Pro 7 Pro, and I took the S23 Pro and shot with all three of those phones, and I shot with my real camera. Now, I told myself I wasn't going to be doing these camera comparisons anymore, but I'm like so locked onto this portrait mode stuff, bro, that I kind of want to share it to the world. It's kind of like that.
Do you have one of those? Do you have one of those big things that holds all the phones at once, and you just sit there and hold it?
I do have one. Yes,
there
that
you
holds
go.
3 phones and 2 phones, and I did have them in there. But I prefer to not use that sometimes, which I didn't use today. I like to actually line the shots up because the problem is with these camera comparisons that a lot of people do is that, just say for instance, for instance, this is a good example. My 1X portrait mode on my Pixel, well, there's really no 1X portrait mode on the Pixel. It is, but it's not, right? Because you could be any distance, right? No matter what. You don't really have to, it don't tell you that, the step forward or step back. You can just really kind of shoot it at any distance. And if you wanted to go 3X, it kind of zooms in, but you can still move back and forth. Okay. But the iPhone and the Galaxy phone, they actually make you stand a certain distance when you hit that 1X and 3X. I mean, 1X and 3X.
Yeah.
You have to stand a certain, it kind of tell you, hey man, you're too close, back up, move forward. So it's hard to line the shots up that way if you have them on the thing, because each of the cameras act different. Like the Galaxy 1X is wider compared to the iPhone, and the Pixel is just wider compared to all of them because you kind of shoot it anywhere, right? So I like to take the picture with one phone first and set that phone down, but pull the picture up and try to line the portrait mode up on all the pictures in the exact same spot to give you like a kind of even look so you can see. That's what I like to do instead of using the thing, because I noticed when I had it on the thing and I take it off, it's like one is further closer, and then I hear people.
You see that on all the websites, they're
and you see it on the websites,
yeah.
And then you see people complaining like, "Well, if you would have took it at the same distance, the light would have been the same, and it changes. You got to know." And you know, when their phone loses, it's so many excuses, and I try to eliminate all excuses. You know what I'm saying? So I try to line it up as best as I can. I try to find corners and make sure, okay, I got half the brick here. Let me get that same part of the brick.
Now, this is an upcoming video you're working on now?
This is a upcoming video. I don't know when it's going to be
So
out.
what I'm going to say, whatever phone loses, if it's not mine, I'm laying in with a bunch of comments in that video.
Well, for one, I'm not going to pick a winner out of it. I'm going to let the audience choose.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because the fact that, if I try to pick a winner, it's going to sway. Like he's he loves the Pixel. I mean, everyone knows I love the Pixel. I think that when it comes to portraits, I shot the gun a little bit when I got the Galaxy, and I was like, yo, this is probably like the best. It is the best portrait mode. Let me put it like that. But it's still like the processing compared to the Pixel is still better. In fact, today I learned that out of the 3 shots that I took out of these 3 phones, the Pixel processing still looks the most natural, still looks normal and everything. They got the skin tones right and the colors right, while the iPhone was warm and the Pixel, the Galaxy was bright, vivid, beautiful. Actually, it has like this beauty haze that it puts over the portraits, and it looks really good. But if you want accuracy, it's not giving you that.
Right.
So but in its own right, all 3 phones did good, because if I didn't have all 3 phones right there, I would have took the Apple portrait mode shot and loved it and shared it. I would have took the Samsung one and the Pixel one and shared it and been fine with any one of those. But when compared, that's when you're like, I like that one better right there.
Well, it's like when you go to Best Buy and you see 50 TVs. Yeah, the most expensive ones might look better, but when you take it home, like a cheap TCL for $150, it looks fine in your room because you're not comparing it to a bunch of TVs. And that's what I was going to ask you about. The Samsung 200 megapixel camera is actually a smaller sensor than last year. And I haven't shot photography since it's been years when they actually used film. But with the bigger sensor, you get that natural bokeh, which is really great for portraits. But what I didn't like about, I had the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, whatever it was, with the 1-inch sensor. When you shot a typical picture, you had that fringing around the edges where, part of the subject was in focus, but the sensor was so large that the rest of the picture was out of focus.
Yes.
So I think there's some trade-offs. I'm not sure if that's why Samsung did it, to make those use more AI and more computational to make that bokeh effect. But what would you prefer, the natural bokeh of a larger sensor or the computer generated like Pixels and Samsungs and stuff like that?
Because I am into photography, and this question goes to you too, Sam, because you can answer this. This is about a camera, but I would say that I love the natural all the time, because I wish that Samsung actually stuck to the aperture, what they had in the S9 at the time, where you can actually change it, because I think that for most people that would give you the most control over what you actually like. Because I shot photos between my Canon camera and I could say my iPhone or my Pixel or any phone for that matter, and people sometimes chose the phone over the camera because the camera was giving too much bokeh. It blowed up the background too much.
Right.
I love that. Some people want to see the background, but the thing is that as a photographer, depending on the actual scene and the model and the setting, the background sometimes is necessary. But then there's a lot of situations where you don't want the background to be seen. So I like the natural bokeh where you can actually control the bokeh. Okay. And I guess the only way to control it is using the AI right now on these phones. But I will always pick natural over anything. And in fact, half of the time with a lot of these sensors, I do try to get close to a subject to get the natural bokeh effect over using the portrait mode effect.
Man, we need to get you one of those Chinese phones with the 1-inch sensor. See how you like that.
I will love it.
Again, we know it's not a true 1-inch, and we went through all that. I've seen all those videos. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, mobile technology, with a 1-inch, roughly a 1-inch sensor, it's crazy. I mean, they were good, but the Pixel is still, with their computational stuff. I mean, it can outperform some of those phones. I mean, there's a reason why they don't. Well, there's multiple reasons they don't sell them here, but it's still an interesting proposition for a photographer. I think you'd gain a lot out of that if you had an opportunity to use one of those.
Yeah. So what about you, Sam? What you like? The bokeh effects or natural? What you like?
If I'm taking a picture of a scene or anything, I'd like it to be as natural to the way it was. I want it to look like the way I saw it to me, like how people would have seen it. Like if everybody was looking at that picture, like let's say there was 20 people at a soccer game. Or football. So sorry, Joe would be mad at me if I said soccer. Anyway, anyways, and then like I took a picture and I showed those 20 people. I want that picture to them to look at that picture, go, that's how I saw the scene. I saw those colors look like that. That's what I prefer. The portrait modes are cool. I'm not a photography person. As a matter of fact, I really don't take a lot of photographs. And I guess so for me, when I'm making a purchase of a phone, that is not one of my main drivers for a phone.
Okay.
I mean, if it has a good camera, cool. But I mean, I had a BlackBerry Key 2. I've had a Surface Duo. Clearly, photography is not something that moves the needle because those are potato cameras, right?
Absolutely.
I still have my Lumia 1520, which probably would take bigger pictures than this damn Duo, right? But and so for me, I just I understand that maybe it's the generational thing, but holy shit, do people take that many pictures all fucking
they
day
do.
long?
Yes,
they do.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I can understand you would take that, Delavan, because you're a photographer. But a regular person who's going day to day, I mean, my kids are grown, so maybe that's why I'm not going.
To be honest with you, which is crazy that you say that. I think an average person takes more pictures than me, literally, because when every picture that I try to take, it's always got to be like creative. It's brain thinking, right? Creative.
Yes.
And everyone else, they just snap. This is for
Johan because haters gonna hate. Yeah, Johan.
Throw that out the window. Throw it out the window.
When I shot with film,
it's all good fun. I love.
I'm with Delavan. I would take my not DSLR, my SLR, and I would go out and I would have to think without digital, digital you can delete it and take another picture. With film, you can't do that. But I used to go out and had to think about what do I want to shoot because I was in an art class and I was trying to make the best picture. With most people now, I told you I was on a field trip as a chaperone with a bunch of 10 and 11-year-olds. And I swear to God, everyone was, had their phone in front of them, taking pictures, selfie, and pictures of everything. I have kids. I take pictures of my kids here and there. But you're right. The average person probably shoots more than a photographer, but a photographer is taking different kinds of pictures. Hopefully, they're thinking about it. They're editing afterwards. They're adding and not adding.
Yes, and that makes a big difference. Where it does. And then if y'all notice, y'all see my Twitter channel. Y'all see my Twitter. Anytime there's a picture that I post, even if it's slightly to share something, y'all don't know how much work I go through to get the lighting right, get the color right, and everything like that, just to post it on Twitter. They'd be like, "Hey, look what came in the mail today." And it's never literally.
I know.
I rarely use any of these phones to do it. I would take my camera right here. I would set that picture up before I got to go to work. Take it. And then go to work and then edit it on my Mac or something like that when I get to the job. And then that's when I share it. Average person, click in the restaurant, edit on the phone, share it. Or sometimes don't even do that. I'm extended with it. I'd be so extra with everything. My wife says it a lot. One time we went to Dairy Queen. I don't know if y'all seen my Dairy Queen post. And I had no choice but to use my phone at the time because she was a little irritated. I pulled over. I said, "Babe, I'm about to pull over, right?" She said, "What?" I said, "I'm about to pull over so we can get out the car so I can take a picture."
Before too. What's funny is, the average person's going to go out to eat and they're going to snap picture of what they're eating and they're going to post it instantly. A photographer is going to take a picture and enjoy it, go back later and look at it and make the adjustments that are needed. That's the big difference. I that picture. You see that picture I posted of the sunrise a couple of days ago? I was actually. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm in law enforcement. So I was going to shoot to qualify for work. And on the way to the range, I pulled over to some country road and saw that and just said, "Hey, I'm going to take a picture of that." Got back into my car and went back.
I don't miss that life. I don't miss that life at all, my friend. After 10 years of doing that.
What do you mean? Good. Going to the range? When it's raining outside, it's not fun.
No, I know.
Our range is outdoors, so yeah.
Yeah, no, and I guess here's the thing. I guess I thought I was the average person, but apparently I'm not. I guess I'm the person that doesn't take a lot of pictures, right? And so anyway, I always harken back to George Carlin's bit about 1 hour photo finishing. This is again,
I remember
for those of you who are younger who don't understand that this was a thing, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, you didn't have pictures right away. You had to take them, and they would take like 2 or 3 days. They had to process them, right? If you had 35 millimeter, right? Then you had the Zip Marts or the Photo Mart. It was like a 1 hour you drive up. And it was this little booth. It was this little shack in the middle of a parking lot in front of a Hy-Vee or something, and they would do it 1 hour photo finishing. That was the big deal, and people fucking flipped out. They're like, and he's like, folks, it's 1 hour photo finishing. You just saw the fucking thing. How can you be nostalgic about something that happened a little while ago? I mean, really? So it's, and that's, I guess, what it is. Film used to cost money. You had to take money to take the film and go pick up the film and look at the film. And of course, you'd have, if you had 35 exposures, 8 of them would be completely blown out and fucked up. You'd have to throw it. Then 6 of them would be out of focus or jacked up. So you really had about 12 or 15 usable photographs, right? But I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's like, now that you can just take pictures ad nauseum, willy-nilly. I mean, I sit there and just watch people, because again, and Tuna knows this, when you're in law enforcement, you become a kind of professional people watcher. Because you're always paying attention to your surroundings and what's going on, who's walking in, who's walking out, who's looking at what or whatever. And every time I go to a restaurant, it's always somebody. It's like they get that, they get the fucking pollo con loco, and they got to fucking take a picture of it.
I would be that guy. Bro.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding.
I would be that guy.
I'm totally okay with that. I'm not again. If that's how you move. Do you, man?
It's just it's just different, because I remember when I was making I shot film, I'd go into a dark room and dip it in 3 different chemicals, hang it up to dry. That to me was like, if you screwed up, you're like, shit, you just spent all this time and you just develop your own film. You know how hard it is to get film out of a film canister in a bag because you can't let it expose to light? I had to put my 2 hands in a bag, and you had to pry it open with like a can opener, and then you had to pull it out, then go into dark room and do the next part. And that gave you that sense of, hey, I made these pictures and I also developed them. It gave you a sense of pride. I'm not saying digital doesn't. It still does. I think phones have kind of cut that last part out. Most people aren't going to go into Snapseed or Photoshop and they're going to edit their photos. They're going to print them. That's why AI becomes so popular.
Yeah, I think so. And to be honest with you, AI has been helping actually my editing in Photoshop, because Photoshop actually has some AI features in here that actually helps process my photos a lot faster for me and stuff like that. But I still, for the most part, manually do everything to my own tweaking and liking and stuff like that. I think that for a person to really want to do what I do, have to really love actually pictures and photography, that's going to take that time to do that. The average customer or average user just want to take a good picture and, especially women, I look cute, and then post it, and that's it. They don't want to do anything extra. I mean, that's what they do.
You take the selfies.
I can't I can't count how many times I dealt with a client and I shoot them on my professional camera, and then like right after the shot, they want to see it. Like right after the shot. I'm like, bro.
I didn't think about that. That's the time to be living.
And it must be a generational thing, and it must be maybe a woman thing. Or I'm sorry, people
it's generational.
People identify as women. Just so we're out there. Just so we're out there, right?
I've seen pictures done on a regular camera, and I didn't get to see them until after the photographer went back to his studio. Worked his magic, and then said, here's all your proofs. Pick what you want to print. That's how it worked when I was that age.
So anyways, I was at a dinner for my friend who turned 70, and his granddaughters were there. So the one was, I think, 16 or 17. One was like 11 or 12. And they're sitting at the table, and of course, they're clearly not interested in like celebrating a birthday of an old grandpa, right? Because they're teenagers. And I'm just like, why do you make these kids show up to this shit? They would rather be anywhere else but here, right? So this is what I see.
I hate that. It's so weird.
I'm looking, and my wife she goes, don't. Just don't, because I know what you're doing. And she could see it in my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I picked up my camera. I actually happened to have my Duo, and I was just like this.
Oh my god, bro. that is so funny.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see this girl's reaction.
And my wife's like, oh fuck. And finally one of them looked over and they're like, what? I go, oh, I thought when we sat on this side of the table, we have to take pictures of ourselves. So I have a cooler phone than you do. So I'm going to take cooler pictures than you do. And I was just like, and then she was like you fucking dick. I'm like, yeah. And my wife's like, oh God, I hate taking you anywhere with anybody who's not like, it's just funny. But I looked around the table. Every person that was under 20 was on their phone.
So you said yourself, Sam,
in their hand, like literally, and I just thought I don't know what this is, I don't know what that is. That's what they were doing. Maybe if somebody can, like, in the chat explain.
Well, you said you don't take a lot of pictures, right, Sam? You don't take a whole lot of pictures.
Not if I'm like, no, it depends. If I'm in Puerto Rico, yeah, I'll take.
I mean,
because I'm on vacation.
Selfies. Do you take a lot of selfies?
No, not particularly.
Right. And I don't either. I don't want to see myself. I don't want to look at myself in the camera.
Yo,
I don't know.
I hate when I open up a camera and then there's on the selfie and I see myself. I'm like,
but I guess because they're young females and young people, they do. I mean, that's
everyone's about me. It's all about me. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm not gonna go too far.
But here's the thing. But if I was in the 80s and I had access, in the middle of the Cold War, and I had access to something like this where I could do that, I probably. Well, I try to tell people. It's like I try to tell people. It's like when I was 10 years old, the Soviet Union was a thing. Like that was a thing, and there was like the Russians are going to nuke us, and the whole world's going to end, and everybody, and interest rates were at 8%, and everybody thinks because people now talk about stuff like that shit never happens. Like it's not cyclical. I'm like, no, we had a China back then, a counterpart who was communist. It's called the Soviet Union. And they would get on TV and tell us that they hated the Americans. They would love to nuke fucking Russia, White House, and nuke fucking the Central Park and all this shit. Yeah, they talked about that shit actively. And we were taught that they were the boogeyman, right? So, again, that's 35 years ago, folks. It's not a long time ago. But I'm just saying, I think if I had access, and I think if people like to say, well, these kids today, man, fuck you. You had Pogo Ball.
Yeah.
You didn't have a fucking Samsung S23
if they had
or
phones
iPhone
back then,
14.
yes.
I mean, you act like it's like, well, I would have done such a thing. Horse fucking shit. You'd have done the same thing they're doing.
Would you take a selfie with the Berlin Wall?
Absolutely.
Before it came down. Okay.
I was actually alive when it fell. I was watching it on television when it happened.
Yeah.
I was like, what wall? No, just kidding.
There was a wall. I actually have I have pieces of it actually in my study.
Got it.
So, but yeah, it's just one of those things where I get it, and it's just I like cameras and I do, but for me, when I'm looking at a phone, it isn't the main driver. Also, because I switch a lot, I have a Pixel 7. So really, if I were going to go on vacation and I needed to leverage a photography thing or a video thing, or if I was taking videos of something like my dogs are fucking around, right? I clearly don't use my Duo for that. I clearly use my Pixel for that.
Right.
So it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah. For me, man, I don't even like care to use a phone for any of my memories. I normally just carry my camera and use that or whatever half the time. It's only when I go out with my wife, sometimes I don't take my camera, and that's when I use my phone for the food pictures and all that stuff like that. And you already know she limited me to like 3 pictures at the table because literally I do a whole photo shoot before we eat. She hates that, right. So she's
walking around to other people. What you got? What you got there? Is that burn ends? Let me take a picture of that. You don't mind, dude. Don't touch it.
Right?
Don't touch it.
Right.
I posted something that a lot of people put their cameras in their back pocket when they walk around, but if you carry around a digital camera, that's not fitting in your back pocket. So you regularly just put it on your neck and walk in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And I got the little strap thing on the side of this right here where I can put my strap on and off.
Are you like some kind of like news person? Are you news person?
You get a press badge. Make up a press badge when you walk in, like you're somewhere.
Yeah, facts. And I always carry my favorite shoot around lens. It's always got to be my wide, my 35 or my 16 or something like that, because I need to make sure that is wide enough to get selfies or close up shots and stuff like that. So it's pretty much my go-to. I don't really carry like everything with it when I go, because you got to kind of have that one lens that kind of do it all. And that's the 35 for me. I can be across from my wife and get a nice shot of her, and then I can turn the camera around and get a nice selfie of us, and then get close enough to food without having to get out my seat and back up, or or anything like that to make it real weird. So,
you know what? I'm bringing my S23 next time you and your wife go out to eat, and I'm going to record you with your your camera and your wife getting annoyed at it, and that's going to be a great video.
We went out to go get some pizza, literally, and then like when the pizza came to the table, I said, "Babe, it's a new phone. I got to get more than 3 pictures." And she looked at me, and I was taking pictures of, with the Galaxy phone or whatever. And she slid in the seat and just went to the side like this and was like, she was I do the same thing with
my wife. Like, hey, I had to bring my phone with me. Could you take some pictures of the kids? I'm like, well, this is a new phone. I want to try some different angles and some different lenses, the different, zoom. And she's like, just take a damn picture. I'm like, I can't just take a regular picture. Gotta try all this.
I can't. I was switching the lenses. Me along.
This guy will take up. Give me the fucking goddamn picture.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Are you done? Is that you too? Yeah. Is that they look like you? Fine. Here you go. Sign it to me.
That's my 35 that I like carrying. He said my lens was thick, but that's my 35. Love it. Boy. Yeah. So it's my go-to.
Yeah. Again, like I said, and that's why I'm the kind of person who's willing to buy a Surface Duo because clearly, I'm looking for a different kind of form factor for my workflow, and I'm okay with, doing that kind of thing. So it's cool.
Hey,
like I
I'm
said,
looking for a Duo 2 again. I want a Duo 2 again. So if you find one, I know they're rare.
See, I don't. And here's the thing. I thought about this, and I've had a Duo 2. Actually, I had it since launch, and I broke the screen and tried to get it replaced. I couldn't replace it. And I don't think I would get another one. I like the Duo 1. I don't like that camera hump. At first, I didn't. It didn't bother me, and now it really bugs me. It really does bother me because
I think the camera was that much better. That's why I liked it. It really wasn't a bad camera. They did some software updates like they usually do, and I think that made a big difference. But like you said, the camera's not important to you as much as maybe for me. So.
Right, and I just couldn't get past the camera hump, and that's like I would rather the phone been thicker in the housing. But to me, that's what made the Duo more of a unique device.
You're right.
It would fold completely flat on its back because it did have some So when I was on the phone, I was in phone mode. Having that thing was a little easier because my fingers, there was a gap there, so closing the phone was a little bit less of a fit. But I never really have a problem with that. When I'm using this, I just like the fact that it goes. I didn't realize when I went back and got the old Duo because I didn't want to spend $785 $800 on the Duo 2. When I went back to OG Duo, I was like, yeah, I'm back to 855. I'm back to no NFC. I'm back to this potato camera, and this is it still has some software glitches and stuff, but I don't like the camera hump anymore. I don't think I could get a Duo 2. Now, if I could get a Duo 2 for like $350 like I did for this.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Right.
If you're talking $600, $700, $800 still, no, I just not. And I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather just stick with my original OG Duo, and it's been fine. It's been fine for me. It still sucks as a phone. I still have phone call issues with it every once in a while. It just doesn't. NFC, and then the Bluetooth's a little, but it's whatever. And so that's why if I were going on a trip, I would bring my Duo, and I would have my Pixel as my picture-taking, video-taking device if I were doing that. But I don't know. At the times I'll just go to places, and my wife's like, and she doesn't even take pictures. I'm like, it didn't occur to me. I was so in the moment of just enjoying the zoo or enjoying. It just didn't occur to me to sit here and take. This is not a photo opportunity for me. It just wasn't. I mean, that's just how I am. And if I'm in a place that I want to take a picture, then I will. But it's not very often. I mean, I just don't.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I want to touch up on this comment real quick because my man John said that as many things he want to do and get into in future careers, photography has been one of them. And he said he already have experience in Photoshop. So I'm going to tell you, bro, go get a camera. It don't matter what camera, just go get a camera, get a 50mm lens, and just start shooting because it's going to be uphill from there. Because once you start seeing the art and stuff that you can create from it, you're going to be blown away, and you're never going to want to go back to a cell phone because that's where I'm at now. Literally, it's hard. And, a lot of people compare that the phones are comparable to the actual cameras. And I'm going to say that if you need something quick on the go that's going to do all the processing on the go, yes, a phone will probably be, the best thing for that. But if you really want quality and you want control and you want everything and, lighting and really artistic stuff, you would probably want to go with a real camera because the amount of work that you have to do on a phone to get the proper, lighting and make sure that the noise isn't there and everything else is way too much versus just hitting the button. I mean, the button versus right. Worse hitting the button and letting the processing do it. And then you just share it. But if you really have that creative niche in you where you want to really get down and do some cool stuff, like half of the product shots that I did try to imitate some of those on a phone, and it was way harder because, the phones want to just really crank up this ISO. And if a phone don't have pro mode, then that's even worse because you have to use pretty much you just really have no choice but to use the phone, and it's not really going to come out how you want it. But yeah, I think if you're really interested in photography, you should definitely get a real camera. It's going to be light years better than what a phone can do. And on top of that, I'm hearing that they may be putting AI into these phones. I mean, these cameras.
They are.
Canon, I heard, yeah. Well, Sony, okay. Well, I thought I heard Canon. I'm not 100% sure, but you might be right. It might be Sony. But that's going to be crazy because if the cameras can imitate what the phones actually do, it's going to be lights out for the phones when it comes to photography. It's going to just push them further ahead. And I'll be honest with you, if you think about it, the auto mode on the cameras right now kind of already do that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
Here's what I will say
mode.
though. I think it's one thing you're missing though, and I'm not trying to below. Everything you said was perfect. You're the photographer, not me. But I know one thing I learned by picking up an SLR or DSLRs, learning f-stops, ISOs, learning aperture, because all that stuff is something that the normal person, that's where they use a phone. They don't have to think about that stuff.
Yes.
They don't use pro mode. So I think learning that stuff, then when you do get a phone that has a pro mode, you can go in there and you can change those things and make it look a little bit different. It's been years since I've done that stuff, but that was one of the big things. When I went out to shoot something, I'm like, hey, I know I can change the aperture and this to this and get a better picture I want, because there was no post editing with film. You know, you had to do your best. But I think with digital, it's the same thing. You want to learn those things to. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think learning those.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think that the average person should kind of learn those common things in photography and lighting, which would make better pictures. But then the ones that do not just really, really care, that's where the AI kicks in at. And that's why I say that if the DSLRs or the mirrorless cameras are getting AI built into it, then they will eliminate the need of phone, because then you don't have to learn it.
Right.
And, and think about it. A lot of us tech enthusiasts, right? To be honest with you, all of us up there should be learning a little bit about photography, because they're the ones that complain about it the most. They're the ones that want to see the camera comparisons the most. They're the ones that's talking about this and talking about that. So why not learn a little bit of, the lighting and the shutter speed and aperture and there, how everything works with photography.
Not this guy. I'm not the one complaining about the GanCam camera comparison. I don't give a shit. No, I'm just kidding. I tell you, if you really want to do it on a smartphone and you still want to learn, because you can get a pro mode and learn those features, I would suggest Juan's book. Juan Carlos Bagnell is Take Better Photos.
Right.
Yes. I've had that book for years, and I'm telling you, if you're a person that just and you can actually use that to do, it doesn't have to be for a smartphone, but he talks about
any camera,
white balance and f-stops and moving up and exposures, and he talks about those concepts, and that really isn't just specific to a smartphone. That just is leveraged on a smartphone. You can still learn, and it's a great book for somebody.
If you learn that on. If you learn that anyways, that goes for any type of photography. It don't really matter if it's smartphone or real camera.
Right.
That's
what
just
I was saying.
That's a nice, accessible book that doesn't cost a lot of money, that he updates and stuff like that. So if you're really looking to get any kind of not just messing with it, but actually some fundamental understanding of what those concepts really are to make your photography better, I would suggest getting that book.
And the book is a good idea. Sam is exactly right, because Delvin, you made a good point. If we use the new Canon, Sony, whatever, it's got AI, we're missing the point of how to use those manual. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm old, but maybe it's that part of me that's saying, are we losing something? I don't know, because AI makes everything easier. I mean,
it does.
If we got DSLRs with AI, we're not going to know f-stop. We're not going to need to, because the computer's going to, the AI is going to do it for us.
It's going to calculate it and do everything for you. It is. And I feel like learning it could be important, because the AI is not good in every situation. Sometimes the AI processing, and you all took pictures before you took a picture of a subject, then you took it again, and it processed it differently. I seen white balance be completely thrown off by my Pixel or by my iPhone or my Galaxy phone easily, based off the condition. But if you had an actual camera, then you could dial in all of that stuff yourself manually. So, like I say, it's not for everyone. And I understand that. I'm not sitting here trying to say everyone who has a cell phone need to learn this stuff. But I feel like if you feel like you have a little bit of camera enthusiast in you, then it's important that I feel like you should learn this, you know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be people like my mom who completely do not care. But then there's other people who will take a picture, they look at it and they don't like it, it's off. Then I feel like those are the people that need to learn a little bit more, because, my mom would snap something and call it a day. And I'm like, Mom, I know you is not about to show that ugly picture. I grab her phone and I take it myself, and then I give it back. I'm like, all right, send this one. Or something like that, but my mom don't care. My stepdad, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, none of them. Nobody cares. Like it's non-existing to them. And like I said, I get that everyone's not, but we're really kind of talking about these tech enthusiasts. We're going to target them. We're not targeting the average consumer. We're targeting people that we have conversations with all day long. They need to, they should learn it, because they're the ones talking about it. They love the camera comparisons and also like that. So, and I started doing my comparisons because I started actually stopped doing them, and I wasn't doing them in auto mode at first. I was just actually taking the camera, shooting it in manual mode, if I can, or doing my own processing, because I feel like you do not know how well a camera is until you shoot in RAW. Literally, your camera is not at its peak until you shoot at the camera's peak. In auto mode is not the camera's peak, and that's even for cell phones too as well. Well, I guess in a sense, peak is, you know, computational photography for cell phones, but they're dabbing into the raw area now. So as of right now, the only phone I would say peak would be the iPhone that I've used that has peak raw files, and they're worth shooting the raw files over auto mode any day, at least for me.
Oh, and here you go. You can do this, right? Smart for here's your.
Have you seen the raw mode on a Duo though? No, I'm just playing.
No, and then here's the thing though. But if you get a Duo, you know. But here's what's nice: you get a Duo.
You read the book. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's so cool. Yeah, I get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The fold is similar, but nothing like that.
Here's what I love. This is cool. So watch. So if I grab it from this bottom corner, right? If I page, it'll page from the bottom, right? But if I grab from this top, watch this.
Ooh,
that's sick.
And I'll tell you, if you're a Kindle user, a book reader,
yeah,
please do yourself a favor. Get this device, and I'm telling you, I've had people who are like my avid readers, and they were like, "Holy shit, that's the coolest!"
It makes the sound too, doesn't it? Of the page turning. It'll go. Yeah, it's so cool.
I'm telling you, but it's just nice because you can just sit here, and this is Juan's book, by the way. But it's kind of nice. I mean, it's for
the first Duo is cheap enough now that it's like what, $250, $275.
Yeah, I mean, you can get one.
It's not a bad deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, but yeah, I think you're right. If you're
going to buy one,
if you're going to be an enthusiast, you should learn about the tools of your craft. You can't be good at something if you don't know how to do the basics of it. And to me, f-stops and ISOs and white balance and all the shutter speeds, those are the basics of photography, and you have to learn those. You have to conceptualize those and know those. It's the fundamentals of anything you want to do. If you want to be a good baseball player or a good, whatever, you have to learn the fundamentals of the game. You just have to, and that's in order to really call yourself an enthusiast or really get the most enjoyment out of what you do.
And the best thing about that leads you into video as well, because those three things work in video the same way, which is pretty cool. So, you could kind of learn both at the same time, but it's a few other things that play differently in video. But yeah, for the most part, I think so. I think it's important that people learn how to use their camera, especially enthusiasts, and learn the basics and stuff like that. And, we complain about, like, it's amazing how I get on Twitter and we talk about Camera Pro RAW. Then I had some people shoot in RAW, and then they like, why my pictures looking like so dull and not lifelike and stuff. And they had no clue what RAW files were. They just knew that everyone on the internet was using it, but they don't even understand that you have to edit a RAW file and stuff like that,
Yeah, the RAW looks terrible. What's wrong with it? What's got to be edited? That's the whole point.
Especially when Samsung dropped Pro RAW. Everyone's like, because Samsung has in their Pro RAW, which is weird to me. I don't even know why they do it. They actually give you a JPEG as well as a RAW if you turn that on. Like, why would you want to shoot RAW? Yeah. Why would you want to shoot RAW and have both turned on? You might as well just put that in a regular camera.
It's because they know you really don't really want to use RAW.
Like there you go. Yeah.
We know you're gonna want to get there, so we're just gonna give it to you because it doesn't cost us shit. But really,
are
you sure? Are you sure, bro? Are you sure?
Because we can give you a fake moon. You don't have to do it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And plus, so it's kind of funny how they give you that. But I'll tell you this much, man. Can we please get this camera UI? Can we please get this?
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Oh my god, the Lumia. When you want to use it, you just kind of take it and you kind of slide it out, and bam, all your settings are right here.
I like that.
Unfortunately, Nokia has been through so much crap. I don't know if there'll ever be this.
Well, this is a Lumia 1520, so obviously, but yeah, it's like. But I'm just saying, I would get a Nokia phone just for that camera interface. I think that this is the slickest interface for a camera, other than a Sony. As far as like on a mobile, the way you can handle all your settings, and just if you need to make those adjustments, you just kick it out right there.
Yeah.
And then just kick it in. Dude, nothing's better. I'm sorry. I really think that camera UI is important, and I just like that setup as far as a camera.
You know what's so crazy? On the Galaxy phone, I literally have not used Expert RAW or Pro Mode yet up here. And you would think that I would. And I'm gonna tell you a reason why.
I was going to say, I was going to ask, is there a reason why?
Well, Yeah. When I get up here and I make the adjustments myself, whatever lighting it is, the results are terrible. Like I'm having a hard time getting good results. I don't. They're giving me all these lens choices to use. I try to use the ultra wide mainly, just the main lens. I don't know which one is the main lens or what lens I'm switching to. If I'm switching to a worse lens, because if I look in camera raw, like I'm looking in here now, and if I take a picture, if I wish I could show y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna take a picture here now.
Do you have the Expert Raw installed? Because I just tried to open it. It's telling me to install an app.
You gotta download it. So this picture this is a pro picture that I took. I didn't do any adjustments, but you can't probably tell, this picture has a little life to it. Got color to it and everything. This is the telephoto. And if I go to the wide angle right here, dang, I just got all this stuff. It looks so bad. I don't care. Y'all see it. This one looks washed out. It looks like a raw file. It looks like it's ready to go. And that happens when I just switch camera. The settings are the same, but I switch cameras.
Is that an Expert Raw?
This is Pro. This is the Pro. So I don't really know what's going on with it. So I kind of rather them have a setup like the Pixel and the iPhone, where you just click on the RAW and it shoots a JPEG and a RAW, and they choose how to how they want to process the RAW file, I guess. Right. Don't get me wrong, I don't like it, but I think that Apple's RAW file right now on the 14 series, I can work with that the way it comes out. The one that comes out, the Pixel, I could actually work with that too, but the ones that are coming out of here is really hard to deal with. But I'm gonna play around with more, because like I say, the more you zoom and change these lenses, it's changing, and it shouldn't do that. It should be exactly what it is. But Samsung got some kind of,
Does that come down to a hardware thing or a software thing? I don't know. I would assume it's a little bit of both, but I
want to say it's a little bit of both, but I really think that it's the software just changing inside the camera, because it's supposed to give me the same results if I'm using the same lens. Because if I'm shooting with my 35 millimeter, right? I mean 35 millimeter. If I'm shooting with my 35 or my 50 millimeter, yeah, you're right. My 35 and my 50 millimeter, and I have the camera set to the same exact settings, the image doesn't change. The focal length only changes. Up here, the settings, it's changing on the phone. So using RAW, I'm confused about what's happening in there. And then I'm like kind of baggled why we have Pro RAW and RAW. I mean, we have Expert RAW and RAW. Pro mode.
Yeah, I'm saying just Pro and Expert RAW. I don't know what the difference is. I'm confused.
Did you just say baggled?
Bagel, yeah. I make up words.
Button.
Don't come at me.
I like it. I'm gonna use
it. Thank you. I do it all the time. I do it all the time in my job, and my kids be like, "This does not even."
And see, here's the funny thing: is I make those mistakes all the time on the podcast, and I don't. And I've always made a rule: I don't edit anything.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I had a whole episode. We had Gigi on. We had Gimme on. I had an entire episode where I call her by the wrong fucking name. The entire 50 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. And you awesome. Would think you're gonna. And my wife's gonna post that. I said, absolutely, I'm gonna post that. That makes me look like a moron. And she's like,
well, look, you may be making up words, but your background, you're like a floating head. Like you got the lighting just right on your face. It's kind of cool. It really is.
And he's got a little skull cap on. It's a very good classic,
contrasty,
identifiable.
Yeah,
it's like the camera housing on an iPhone. We made it that way so it's an iPhone. When you look at it, that other iPhone people can go.
So Galvan Digital is a lifestyle brand now. I'm putting it together.
You smell what he's cooking?
I'm just like we talked about everyone else branding themselves. Yes, I decided to do that. As you can see, I'm going.
Mine's Tuna Tech. Nobody's branded themselves with Tuna. Yes. No one's doing it. So I'm good. I'm never going to be a lifestyle brand.
It's got a little bit of a condom tip kind of vibe to it. But I'm not going to say anything negative about it.
Hey, like. I can make it worse. It could be worse. It could be worse.
Rib for her pleasure, apparently.
Yeah, definitely a rib for her pleasure.
Just saying. So it's.
But yeah, man. I think it's important to brand myself, only because my name can fit in any category. The thing is, if I decide to stop tech, I can do digital photography. I could do digital art. I could do anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Crosses,
I just brand myself as my name. Yep. Yeah, exactly. So it could fit other places and stuff like that. So I don't have to stick to this tech if I decide to give it. I know a lot of people don't want me to give it up, and I'm going to try my best not to. Any advice that anybody give me this year, I'm going to take everyone's advice, like literally everyone's advice. Only thing I'm not going to do is spend money on getting advice. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw money in this getting advice.
I was going to say professional therapy.
It's hard.
I guess don't do that. I just don't have and here's the only thing I would tell you about advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to listen to other people's feedback, but here's the thing. they never have to live the choice.
Oh, absolutely.
They never have the consequence of that decision. Like, well, you should do this and you should do that. But yeah, they don't have to live the consequence of the fail of the. If you choose that path of approach, they don't have to live the fallout of the consequence of that choice. Right. You have to.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I said, I don't get so bogged down in taking too much feedback, because I think you get into a feedback loop with things. You really just have to sit down and go, how does this work for me? And if you can't shake, like you can't go back, you can't close the door that's been now opened about caring. If you can't shut that door and make it work for you, if that's going to nag you, it's going to bug you until you're willing to walk away from that, or just walk away from it altogether. Because it's never going to just subside. It's either you're going to say this is a deal breaker, or I can't do this anymore. If you're smart, into something else.
If you're smart, you always take the feedback that you know that you can do. You know, you don't take it all. But like what I mean by that, I'm taking it all is that I'm going to have an open ear to everybody's suggestions, and if I feel like it fits the plan of what I'm doing, then I will. And that goes back to what I was saying in what we were talking about, where you either do what everyone else is doing to get the views, or you don't. And that's kind of like one of those situations, whatever, because I had people come to me about my thumbnails and stuff like that. As you can see, my thumbnails is changing with my big old head up there now. I always thought that was whack. You know, I wanted to, like, in my thumbnails, I always did some crazy cool lighting photography type thing. But if people are not clicking on that, they want to see somebody big noggin and talking about
with their mouth wide open. Like, I know. It's weird.
I messed up. I messed up. I was wrong. I switched.
I know. Hey, perfect right there. Yeah,
I saw the light. I'm a doofus.
Yeah. I was wrong, and I.
But you said I don't feel like buying every device. Now, I will say that is ridiculous, especially just to get views. I do buy a lot of devices, but it's not for my channel, because before I was even on YouTube, I was buying multiple phones. I like changing phones and messing with different phones. And after a couple of weeks, you're like, oh, these phones are all the same. You know, basically they do all the same thing. It's just different how you get there. But yeah, I think the way you're going at it is different. Like you're putting thought into your videos. It's not just, hey, here's a new device, I'm switching back, or what we talked about. It's not clickbait. It's, hey, here's what my wife thinks, or hey, I went down the street and talked to 3 random people and what they thought about this phone. And you know, that's the kind of stuff I think it differentiates people. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just do the standard stuff, and I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that, but I just think if you have the talent, do it. You know. Yeah. And if it's not for you, switch gears or do podcasts. Live stream is very easy. I know I talked about Scott Peach. I don't know if you guys ever watched Technically Speaking. He used to do every Wednesday night live stream with him and his buddy. And he stopped making videos, and he was just doing live streams for a long time, because he said it's easy, it's less stressful. I get to talk tech still. People want to listen. So do you. I mean, podcast, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it might boil down to it. And I'm not really going to change the formula of what I do as far as how I tackle my videos, because I feel like, to be honest with you, I am outside of that same. If you want something different in the tech space, then my channel would be that channel to come to. But you know, it's about me trying to find that audience that's looking for me, because they can't find me because I'm buried under, you know, the algorithm. Maybe, I don't know. You know, people say stop blaming the algorithm, but I mean, we all got to recognize that it's there, right? Yep. We can't just sit there and act like it's not there, even if it's you know, not fully the algorithm, and it could be like my content, because you know, you got to blame yourself too as well, right? At some point. But I never really had anybody tell me that my content was bad. And in fact, most people give me the word, your content is underrated. Why don't you have more subs? You know, if anything. So, you know, the quality, the content, and everything there. I even had one point when I first came in the game, people was like, yo, your videos are long. I like what you're saying, but they're long. I cut them jinx down quick. They're down to like 6 minutes up to 12 minutes at max and stuff like that. And I listened. I took that.
Unless you're Flossy, you ain't making 1 hour videos.
Apparently Floss got it. He can do it and get away with it. But the fact is that I wasn't even trying to, you know, I wasn't trying to be like him. I wasn't trying to really make them long, but I wasn't even trying to do reviews. I wanted it to be a podcast. So if you decide to watch the video or just listen in the background, I just wanted to, because I like listening to podcasts in the background. I love it. So I'm like, maybe there's other people who just want to hear somebody just talk for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Because normally when I'm listening to a podcast and it's good, I'll click on the next one because I'm cooking, I'm doing something, and I want to hear more. So, you know, I guess maybe it just didn't work out. So I cut them down and started doing kind of like reviews, aka experience videos. Because like you say, I only buy the devices that I use.
So basically, I know why there's a I get these metrics on our podcast that shows that somebody's listening for like 8.5 minutes and then clicking off. It must be Delavon because he said, "Oh, if it's really good, I'm listening. If it's not, like fuck this, who the fuck this guy? Click. This guy's terrible. Why do they even let this guy have a channel? It's because I can do it for free and nobody can stop me." Right?
Delavon, there is a cheat to YouTube. There is no algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be Neo and part of the Matrix, and you see. If you can see it all, then you can make. That's what MKBHD. He's not real. Yep. He just saw the Matrix, and he's in. You know.
I will tell you, I saw John Wick. I don't know if you have seen the new John Wick.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything. I'm just telling you, it's very clear that there are a few scenes in that movie that make references to another Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah.
Why really? God,
it's just I'm watching the movie and I'm like, huh. The way the cinematography is set up, this reminds me of a different movie that they were both in. Let's just put it that way.
I heard it was really good.
Oh, you talking about The Matrix?
If you're a John Wick fan, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
You're talking about John Wick. Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about John Wick. John Wick 4.
Similar.
I just saw the last John Wick. So I will tell you, I didn't like it as much as the first two. I didn't dislike it, but there were scenes. Okay, I guess I need to find out. So the suit that he's wearing, I know it's Kevlar.
The Kevlar? Yeah.
Right? Is it also impact proof?
Look, I know where you're getting at. I seen the movie. I know
because there's some of these scenes I'm like,
we can't talk about it.
To me what the fuck is happening because that did not happen. He got.
You know what? Let's
do this. By a car.
Sam. Let's do this, Sam. Let's set up another stream another day and let's talk about the ridiculous things in movies. And let's put that John Wick at the top of the list because
what do you mean? Fast and Furious? Everything is crazy. Come on.
Here's the thing. Yes, and I'm gonna here's a hot take. I've never watched one of those movies ever in my life. Zero. I have no interest in that movie.
What movie was that? I'm sorry.
Fast and Furious, any of them.
Oh,
don't care. Yeah. I've never seen any of them.
I love cars. It's so outrageous. It's not
I love
about
cars too.
Anymore,
I have a Mustang, but I don't care.
It's not about that anymore.
I don't care about any of that. I've never seen that. Like I said,
so what you're saying is if you don't want to watch Fast and Furious, you're not about family.
Yeah, right.
Clearly, I'm Italian. What do I know about family? Right? But no, I'm just saying though. But there were in that movie, there were a couple scenes I was like, huh, that kind of. I'm getting a different vibe from this cinematography. It was kind of interesting. I mean, it was a good movie. I did enjoy it, and we saw.
You know what's so crazy?
But it was good. But it wasn't. I don't think it was as good as the first two John Wick movies. I was like, I like the first two more. I don't know why. I did.
I think I'm so like into video and photography so much that when I watch a movie, if the cinematography is good, I just love the movie in general. I'd be like, wow, like the camera angles and everything like that makes sense.
Delavon.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard. So there's a guy I've been listening to, an artist. He has a new album coming out tomorrow. His name's NF. You ever heard of him?
What? Yes. NF. Yes. He's dropping a new album tomorrow?
Tomorrow's new album comes out. But have you seen some of his videos?
Yes.
They're like mini movies.
Yes,
it's crazy.
It.
He just had a video called Hope. I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, the music's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the freaking camera angles and the way how the music works perfectly with it's amazing. The dude is from being independent and being kind of under the underground. Like that guy can make videos and music.
Man, I love his music, man. I listen to him every freaking day, man. He is like my therapy session.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sam's like, what?
Yeah, Sam, you gotta try NF, man. Look, just try.
Oh, I thought you said MF. I'm like, no,
NF.
That's kind of good. I don't think that would be my choice, but
he's like a rapper, but he doesn't use any foul language, and I don't know if that's out of choice or how he does it. It's amazing. He's really good.
Is it like a Christian guy?
Or no, he originally signed with Christian. Yeah,
think like Eminem, but like without the curse words and him telling his life.
And he's more motivational. Like he talks about how his life. He talks about his. Did you see the one about his mom who died?
Yes.
Holy crap! That video. If you don't cry in that video, something's wrong with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
It's terrible.
There's a song called Therapy Session. Okay, I got it.
That's what it was. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not trying to get off the topic there. No. Videography wise, his videos are, at least the newer ones, are fantastic. Like the one with the motto, like he had every fan he could think of come to this video shoot and just be part of it, like as an extra. It's just the way that he shoots his videos, and it makes it like a movie. And it's all his albums kind of flow into a story. I don't know. I'll get off that now. Sorry.
Definitely.
That's cool. I mean, I'll check them out. I don't.
It's like The Office. Cool. I could do a live stream about talking about The Office every day. I mean, I watch that show every day too. So, but I'm not going to do that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, look, I know we've been in here for a while. I got to cook me some spaghetti and stuff like that. So I do have a video. Anyone who's watching this stream, I got a video coming out tomorrow about the Galaxy S23U. Like I told you, I will be covering the device, and as transparent as I can be, I'm not going to switch from the Pixel to that phone, but I am going to be using that phone for the next 6 months until at least the new Pixel come out. Just want to be a little bit transparent. A lot of these people want to make videos about switching and all that stuff like that. I just want to be clear, but I am enjoying the phone. I have 2 lines, so I can use the Pixel and the Galaxy phone just fine together, and I don't have to have one over the other because I live that type of life.
I want to tell you, right? I signed up for Mint Mobile, so I'm getting a SIM in the Mint.
Nice, there you go.
Check it out. I don't know. I mean, T-Mobile has never been really great. I live in a rural area, so it's kind of been.
It's better now.
It's better now, so I'm gonna give it a shot. And also, so I get the SIM coming. I'm just gonna switch, and I'm gonna test it out for the family because I'm trying to break off the AT&T family. As Sean would say, the plantation. I'm trying to get off the plantation from AT&T. But yeah, I'm gonna get that, check it out, and I might even do a video about it. Or talk about it on my podcast and really talk about my experience. Because I signed up for the basic 4 gig plan because I don't use a lot of data when I'm not at home. Let's see how it goes. I mean, I'm gonna get a shot.
Your second line
for 3 months, and what the hell? I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, your second line don't really need to be all crazy, because my second line is not all crazy, even though I got unlimited. But it's just another line to throw my SIM card in and use it on the go. Because if you're gonna test a phone, it needs to be on a network, not Wi-Fi. So it's kind of like kind of why I do it or whatever like that. So
and that's why I'm gonna get this bad boy out.
Yeah, what is that? That's
Don't worry, we gonna get you a
we
gonna get you a Galaxy. We gonna get you a Galaxy, bro. We gonna get you.
Yeah, I can get my Huawei P30 because it's dual SIM. So I can
P30, that was a good phone. Before we close, a shameless plug. I know I hadn't said anything in the beginning. On my channel though, there is a giveaway. I'm giving away 4 cameras and a gaming headset. It's just a video I posted on my website.
You in the United States, right? You said that, right?
US,
I'm jumping in that. You said camera. What camera we giving away?
Not like security cameras. Wise security cameras. It's all Wise package. It's like they're pan and zoom and telephoto, and then their Wise gaming headset they just released a couple weeks ago.
Do they work with Google Home?
Yes. So if you have a Google Home Assistant and like a screen, and you say, "Hey, show me the front door," and that's what you named it, it'll show you that. Yes, it doesn't work with Android TV yet, but
I'm cool. Look,
but either way,
it works with
my channel. You click on it; it's good till April 13th. It closes. It's been going for a month. There isn't a whole lot of entries, so the chances of winning are pretty high. Just keeping that out there. So check it out, and that's all I had to say. So
cool. And the Nomad Tech Project will not be going on this Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. We're taking a break. But we'll be back the week after with a guest.
So because of that, I forgot to announce my giveaway too. I am doing a giveaway too. Sorry, I ain't want to take a time.
I'm going to give away the 734 phones that I own to just random people.
I got these cases from Caseology. Okay, you hold them all up, right?
Nice.
That I'm going to be giving away after I get some product shots of it, because that's all I need to do and shoot it in the video. So I don't need all these cases. You do? I got you, bro.
I need a new case. I'm done with this one.
I'm going to be giving out these cases on my channel soon or whatever like that. So make sure you subscribe to it and be there when I
got my Caseology for my Pixel. I love this case. This case is great. This Caseology case. I love this thing.
I love their cases, man. I just don't know if I'm going to do a giveaway to one person or if I'm going to actually do multiple people. That's multiple money shipping.
Exactly. Yeah. You should do it once.
I don't know if I'm going to give it to one guy or am I going to do a bunch of people? I might do a bunch of people.
See? Yeah. This is my giveaway right here. It's all going to one person. I'm not separating that all out, and there's no way.
Okay, that is fair enough. I mean, I know that I am planning on doing a 2-phone giveaway this year. I'm gonna get 2 Pixel phones, and I'm gonna be honest and say it's gonna be Pixel phones. It's not gonna be like the Pro model. It's gonna definitely be the A series model. But I'm thinking about 2 7As or something like that this year that I want to give away.
Good, man.
They are, and I'm gonna. That's gonna be it was gonna be my last giveaway for, farewell or whatever. Even if I don't do the farewell, I'm still going to do the giveaway on my channel for everyone or whatever, because I really want to do something big for, the people who are subscribed, who watch and support and stuff like that. It's the only way I can give back. And yeah, I plan on doing that, and I'm excited about that giveaway. I hope somebody really enjoy those phones who can't afford it or who want it, and whatever, give it to their peoples or something. But anybody can enter, even myself, just to let y'all know I can win my own phone back.
I see that. It's all biased now. You work for Google, don't you? Remember, you work for Google. Come on, you're in the boardroom.
So those are the big things I got coming up. So if you want to know about it, you got to be on my channel to know, because like I said, I'm not going to be announcing any more giveaways on any of my social platforms anymore. It will only be announced on my channel. So
nice.
There you got it.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to sign up. Maybe I can win a case, a bunch of cases, and a Wise thing.
Hey, man, it's open for
everyone. Why not? Why not?
Maybe not. I don't know. That's okay. I don't even win scratcher tickets, free tickets. That's cool.
Facts. But anyways, I appreciate everybody that did come here and watch or whatever, like the viewers that did come and the viewers that didn't come, or the viewers that didn't even know that we were here in the first place. But appreciate everyone. Thank you, Tuan, and thank you, Sam, for coming through. And we'll catch y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.
All right.